What's up guys, my name is Ryan and this is SlideQuest. This is our answer to Google Slides and PowerPoint, where they give you a platform to design your presentation, but they don't give you a platform to design the arguments of our presentation. The goal of SlideQuest is to give you an overall view of your beginning argument, the one that follows, and every single idea that goes into that argument, so that you can see how your argument is forming and how your presentation is going to be built overall before you spend time dividing into individual slides. And then eventually, we also have a slide viewer so that you can build individual slides and have an overall presentation that you understand and you're ready for.
Hello, I'm Pranav, and I'll be talking about the landing page and more about the graph view. So here, this is our landing page. I dropped in a raw brain dump about pickleball. This can be messy notes with no structure. All you need to do is hit generate. For the demo, we already did this, so we won't have to wait for the generation. So let's just go to the graph view here. Here, this is, instead of slides, Gemini chunks that into a sequence of slides and gives me a graph like this, a title node and two branching nodes, as you can see here. We also have a bunch of options here. There's a filter option you can filter it. There's a mini map down here if you ever get lost, and there is also an outline of what's currently on the slides. Another feature that we added is add content. So let's say I want to add something to slide number 3 here. So we click on add content. Let's say I want to add a bullet. Let's say paddle. Add, and then we can connect this to this slide. There we go. The key thing here is everything here is interactive. We can move this around and it works perfectly fine.
Hello, my name is Jeffrey. I'll be wrapping up the graph view and introducing our second view, the slides view. So the final feature of our graph view is we have an agentic panel over here, which we can use to assess the quality of our slides and ask for improvements. So for example, I can press this button and the agent will be working in the background. It'll suggest its things. And then our parallel view and the slides view, this is the more traditional like PowerPoint editor like Google Slides or Word. And you can see like it works. We also have an agentic panel on this side as well with different layouts. And so you can pick the layout you want depending on like your tastes. Another thing I'll note is that the slides view and the graph view are perfectly synced using our Google schema, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Hello, my name is Israel, and I'm just going to give a quick overview on the stack, specifically around Gemini. You already heard about all the agentic ways we're using Gemini, but also we are using Google Firebase for our deployment. We decided to go serverless, so we have some edge functions here. Our main edge function here is just rendering the slide, kind of just between the graph view and the slide editor view, and then all the CRUD operations, we're just talking directly to the Firebase SDK, so those didn't warrant edge functions, but the behavior is definitely there. We also have authentication here, and we're using OAuth, so we have the Google provider, so it's nice and secure, very seamless, very easy to log in. And then for our storage, the one thing I did, this is our bucket, it does connect, I just wiped it out here, but any multimedia you do, it gets just stored in here. And then we have Firestore, which is a NoSQL database, and the one thing I wanted to just show here is that it is just nested JSON, so users are attached to projects are attached to items, and then items, this is actually how everything is rendered on the board. And the one thing I want to point out is that in the graph view here and in the slide editor view here, this is the same data object, so whether you add things in the slide editor, it'll reflect in the graph view, or you're working concurrently, et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, I think that should be about it.